In the shed here behind me is a drum kit that, to be honest, hasn't had a lot of luck. Not only has it been in my shed for 2 months, but it also got damaged on the way here because I actually had it delivered to my house. So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at it. We're going to see if the damage is too bad that it can ever be repaired and played again. And I'm also going to show you the incredible, very rare, very, very old snare drum. So let's get straight into it, unlock the shed and take a look at the kit. I haven't actually seen the high tom at all yet. These are some little bits that came with it, which again I haven't even opened from when the seller sent it to me. There is some quite severe damage on the bass drum hoop, and there's also some quite severe damage on the floor tom. At this point I'm not actually sure whether or not the floor tom, the actual wood and the actual shell is going to be okay, so we're going to take the skin off in a second and have a good look at it. Here is the damage on the bass drum. You can see the hoop has taken a real hit there. So I did make a YouTube short about this kit a couple of months ago, and in that video I showed that there's a big dent on this top hoop here, and this drum actually contains the high tom. I've never taken the skin off. This is going to be the first time I'm doing so, and I really just need to see whether or not the shell has taken any damage on the inside, because if it has, then obviously the drum kit isn't really going to be worth saving. Apologies, I haven't got a slotted key. I'm using a flat blade screwdriver as usual. I will get one day. So I'll take the rest of these out and then we'll have a look, because one of the lug boxes has been pushed in. Is it damaged? Oh, okay. Shells actually look quite nice. Okay. There we go. I don't know what this piece of thread is from. It looks like it snapped off something, but I think these are for the floor tom leg brackets. Pretty sure they are. Oh no. Is that a problem? See here? Look. I wonder if I can poke it out. Ah, it's okay. I thought there was a piece of thread that had snapped off. You know, when we found that piece of thread, I thought that was probably it, but no, I think it's a piece of paper. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That goes. Actually looks all right to me, which I'm really surprised, because I thought it was going to have quite severe damage on the inside. I thought that there were going to be plies of wood everywhere, but actually it looks okay. These were never a particularly high-end kit. I believe this one is 1960s. I always really liked Carlton because I just like the obscure designs, and they were famous for doing some really weird stuff, and I just like the kind of Art Deco styling. I like the red strata wrap as well. It's really nicely done. Let's see this tom. I don't know if it's been messed with though. Yeah, it has been messed with, isn't it? Do we know what make that is, viewers? It's Premier, 1950s, possibly 60s. So it's been re-drilled. That's fine. I probably knew that from the photos when I bought it, but I've forgotten since. But the shell itself looks to be in decent enough condition. So the bass drum, now this is going to be the one, when I have a closer look at it, which is going to determine whether or not this kit is going to be usable again. And I think actually that it is. The first thing we need to look at is the inside of this lug box. So that to me looks absolutely fine. I don't think there's any problems with the shell itself, which is great news. Now you may have noticed that I don't have a bass drum hoop on this side, and it's because I didn't get on with it, but I do have a donor kit, although it's not Carlton. The good news is though that Premier tom fitting on the 12-inch tom does have the other end to it, although I don't know if it's got the middle piece. I actually needed one of these about 3 weeks ago on that 50s Premier kit video, and I didn't have one. So I have here the dampener, the other built-in dampener. Unfortunately, the seller who I bought it off has actually put all of the nuts and bolts back together, which is great news. It is, however, missing the actual felt itself, and what I'm thinking, because I won't have any that's exactly the same, is I might just get some cymbal felts and just glue them on, basically some big like hi-hat cymbal felts, and just glue them on. So I'll do that for next time. There we go. Okay, so that goes through there. The washer goes on the outside. Yeah, cool. This, and then we can bolt it in afterwards, but basically that goes through there, on there, through there. That's good. Once we've got a bit of tension on that. Does that pivot or not? That isn't going to sit flush. So what have I done wrong here? Ah, there we go. That's better. Look at that. Perfect. I just want to announce that the winner of the competition for the Tony Verderosa VFX cymbals is Bassman Dan. Unfortunately, I don't know your full name, but I've sent you an email. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning one of my competitions, then make sure you either become a channel member or buy a ticket for some of the competitions. Remember, some of them are members only though. The memberships and the tickets massively, massively help me in making these videos. I don't make any money off YouTube. In fact, it costs me more than I earn currently. But I would like, if you don't become a member, what I want you to do is comment down below how much better my new camera is than my old one. If you at least do that, that will make it feel like money well spent. So I thought at this point we should use the world's smallest Swiss Army knife and open the remainder of the cardboard packaging that we haven't yet looked at. It looks like we're in luck because we've got the rest, or, well, we'll see if we've got the rest. We definitely got some more bass drum claws. So we should have 8. Let's see. 3, 4. Okay, that's not enough. Let's find out if there's any more. Ah! Oh, please be 8. Yeah! Look at that. We've got another 4. That's perfect. So I'm assuming that all you do is unthread this, and I'm assuming it will be like a washer one side, and then basically push that through. I don't know yet exactly how this bit goes. Sort of assuming like that, and then the other one will go in like that. I think we just push it on like that, and then let's make sure that's the right way around. Yeah, cool, like this. And I think that's probably it. Obviously we need to tighten these up as well. They're not great legs on this, are they really? It's not a great design, and I wonder if this is meant to come loose so that we can adjust them as well. Let's see if this one moves. It definitely should push through. I wonder if it needs to go in a vise, you know, and then just be loosened off so we can push that through. So I found another problem, unfortunately, which is that the wing nut has snapped off, unfortunately, in here. This will not move an inch, and I've just tried to get some pliers on it just so I can hopefully loosen it there, and it's not going at all. So it's probably going to need to be drilled out, which definitely isn't something I wanted to do. So let me tell you my plan with the bass drum hoops. If you follow me in here a second, watch out for spiders. And we've got these hoops on this Lafima kit, which, if you remember, I bought probably about 9 months ago now, and I never managed to get the parts for it because Lafima is a brand that nobody's ever heard of. But these hoops are actually in good condition, and they are 20-inch. Now the wrap colour, because this has been rewrapped, isn't a million miles away from the Carlton, and I have actually got both hoops, so I could either paint them and put them on, or I reckon if we just go down and have a look at the kit, maybe we can just kind of size them up and just see how they would actually fit as they are. I know the colour isn't exactly the same, they might look weird, but it would certainly be an easy way of at least just getting some hoops on it. And then what we can do is use the other skin off that, just so we've got a BAFTA skin. Won't be the best skin in the world, but it will at least make sure we can get it playing. Okay, I've got the bass drum up here, and I've noticed another problem. Can you see how warped this hoop is? You see it's basically flat at the top. So this is off the Lafima kit, as we know. If we look down here, I think it would actually go on okay. It's not a perfect match by any means, but I don't think it would look terrible. So I'd be happy with it if it wasn't for this look. You can see how badly out of shape it is there. So what I'm going to do is very quickly pull the skin off the Lafima kit, which is in there. I'll pull that out now, and I'm going to just see if a skin would actually go on with that hoop. Ah! Now this really is a ruined drum kit, unfortunately. As you can see, look, somebody's tried to Russian doll it. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and watch it. It is a good one, but unfortunately I never managed to get it finished because I could never find a single part for it. How warped is that one, I wonder? See, that one doesn't look too warped, does it? But that's been on the drum, so it's probably a bit better. Problem number 18, though. It's cracked as well, but that can be repaired, I think. First of all, will this fit on here? Yeah, just about. will that then fit on there? No, it won't. It's all too rough, isn't it? It's all too rough. I am a little bit gutted with this kit. I really thought that I'd be able to get it sorted, you know, pretty much for free or very, very cheap, and I was going to order some nice new skins for it. But now I'm in two minds because the hoops obviously will need fully replacing. I can't use the Lefema ones because they're just too warped. I would need new skins all over it, and you know, with the best will in the world, this isn't a particularly valuable kit. Even in good nick, you're going to be struggling to get £200 for the 3 shells, and this one isn't in good nick even if I was to sort it out, because it still had a drill put into the tom and the bass drum, so it's not going to be original, and it's had the brackets changed, the legs on the bass drum don't work, and it's just not in very, very good condition at all. So let's go and have a look at the snare drum, which is very, very cool, and I'll tell you how much I paid for the entire lot. Up until this morning, I'd never seen one of these on eBay, and then strangely enough, as we were about to film this video, I go on eBay for my morning check of are there any bargains, and I actually see one very, very similar. Now, also up until this morning, I believed that this was a Premier Dominion Ace snare drum from the 40s, but the one on eBay has confused me somewhat. So the one on eBay has the words Dominion Ace actually branded onto the hoops themselves. It says Premier up here and then Dominion Ace down here. Mine doesn't have that, but they are the original hoops, and they've got these very cool kind of Art Deco hoops, which, you know, I'm so glad it's got these because you'd never ever be able to find a replacement. But you may be looking at it thinking, well, actually, there's a lot of holes going on here, some very strange shapes going on. And again, up until this morning, I thought that this had been drilled and messed with, no end. But actually, it's pretty much as it should be. It's got a built-in dampener here, but then it's got some more holes around the other side somewhere. Or is it? Over here, it's got 3 more holes, which I thought had been drilled. They're actually for another built-in dampener, so that's fine. These are original. The way these work is that they've actually got 2 mechanisms. You've got an outer snare wire here, and then you've got an internal snare wire as well. Now, the one on eBay is missing its external snare wires. My one's missing its internal snare wires, so clearly these bits get lost. And I believe this is like an early version of Premier's flow beam design, which we saw much later in, like, I think it was the 70s maybe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. The problem with them is that they kind of have almost like bushings on them that wear out, and if I do this, look, you can see that even though it's in the on position, if I turn it off, back on, you can see there's a bit of flex there, and if I hit the drum, you can feel that it's tensioning the snare wires a little bit, and what happens is that the bushings sort of wear out and then you can't get the tension. So what exactly is my intention then with this Carlton kit? I mean, as you can see, things have definitely not gone to plan in the slightest in this video, and I just went on Google to price up some pre-international drum skins, brand new, and to do the kit top and bottom, you'd be looking at nearly 250 quid. Of course, there's the bass drum hoop problem. There's one set currently of pre-international bass drum hoops that are even half decent, or that look half decent on eBay. So I don't have many options there, and they were up for about 45 quid. It's just not going to be viable to get the kit playing my end. If somebody's got the spares, they may be able to sort it out cheaply, but I just don't have that many spare parts, unfortunately. I actually paid nearly 200 quid for the lot. However, I was able to get my money back, being that I said it wasn't the seller's fault, and I genuinely believe that. He was able to keep his money as well. Of course, I would have rather them show up in the condition that I wanted them to be in, and then it would have been a bit easier to sort them out. The other thing as well, by the way, there's no floor tom legs with the kit, and Carlton ones are quite unusual and quite specific. You could replace them with probably some other ones, but again, to do it properly, you want the original legs, so that's another thing I'd have to source. I really do hate not finishing a project. It's not that satisfying, I know, but in this case, I just can't really sort it out. But I really hope you've enjoyed the video anyway. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and definitely consider having a look at my website, either becoming a channel member or buying a ticket to one of my competitions. It massively, massively helps me out in making these videos. I'll see you again in a fortnight with some more drum content. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye for now.